Hey, this is Khalid Nathan Aleem, the real estate boy, and welcome to Social Media for Real Estate Agents podcast. Now, today we have, and he just goes by Moose, okay? So we have Moose from Connecticut, man. Thanks for joining us, Moose.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Awesome, man. Well, why do I have Moose on the program today? Well, Moose actually was featured on Property Spark's list of top 100 Instagrammers for real estate agents. Currently, he has just about 12,000 followers on Instagram, but he gets business from all over social media: Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, and all, man. So we're going to dig into his business, dig into his life a little bit, and see if we can benefit, man. So, Moose, why don't we start out as far as tell us about before real estate, man? What were you doing before you became a realtor?
So it might surprise a couple people, but I was a teacher. So I was teaching, and I was in the teaching field prior to this. I was actually teaching even prior to that. I was actually teaching in a preschool. So I was actually a preschool teacher for quite some time, and then I was headhunted because my classroom was a interactive classroom where it was like kids with autism, kids with behavior disorder. And so then after that, I got headhunted to be a behavioral therapist for a couple different districts out in Connecticut. And then naturally, as a therapist, which is what we do as real estate agents, this was like kind of like the perfect segue. But I've always been interested in real estate. I've always been interested in selling things. So, college, I was actually working with one of my older brothers in my fraternity to help him because he just joined the brokerage. So I mean, this is previous to me like actually being a teacher. I was helping my boy help rent out his apartments, and then my boy would ask me, he was like, "Yo, can you I'll give you $100 if you could just like stand here and open the door." And I mean, I'd like stand and open the door, and people ask you questions, and I like didn't have the answer. So like I would on the fly be like, "I'll get the question. I'll get that answer for you immediately." And I just start calling. I would start moving across. So, real estate's always kind of been in the background. And because it's been in the background, it was something that I was always interested in. So very, very realistically, I actually got let go. So I was fired from my job because I was too expensive for the school district. So they ended up letting me go. But I had gone part-time in 2016. And because I was part-time in 2016, I just went full-time in 2017 and hit the ground running.
Awesome.
Yep. And you know what it is a part-time agent, you make part-time money. So full-time agent, you make full-time money. The sky's honestly the limit when it comes down to just your ability to be able to have a conversation. I mean, I would tell people I was losing business intermittently because like I'd get a client and I'd be after school from like 8 to 3. So I was like, I can only show you at 3:30. And I made the mistake of telling people that. I made this big mistake of being like, "Hi, I'm part-time. I can only do this at this time." They're like, "Why the fuck? We're just gonna go with someone who can do it at 2, at a different time that you can." Because that's the thing is it is a cutthroat business. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and you know it in the corporate world, man. I mean, it's like it takes a minute for someone to just be like, "Yeah, get out of here." So.
Right. Yeah. No. Definitely. So you were, like you said, you were at the school. Got let go, and it was like, okay, let me just go full time into being a realtor.
Yeah. I ended up going full time. Picking my brokerage was very interesting because what I ended up doing was, the reason I even got my real estate license was because this is actually a really good story. When I was a teacher, again, I was planning on leaving this job inevitably that year to do real estate. Because the year previous, now I'm like going in, I'm like helping these kids, I'm like fixing these kids, and getting all this recognition, this praise, getting paid a good amount of money to do this. But I was waking up at 5 o'clock. I was waking up at 4 o'clock because I can only go to the gym at 5. Then my first case, because I had cases, the first case I would have would be at 7. So I get to the place at 7. I always end up getting late to the school at like 8:30, and then I would get scolded for being late, but I was like doing my job because it was part of the job because I had cases, but then I also had to work the school case. So then I would be at the school, and then I'd like end up leaving the school at like 3:30, literally eat lunch in my car, drive to the other case at 4, drive to the other case at 6, get home by like 9, have to be in bed by like 10, because then I had to wake up at 4 to like go to the gym. You know what I mean? So it was like, I was just like, I was burnt. I burnt out very, 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 very quickly at that job. And it wasn't my only job. I was also working at the bar. I mean, you know, you do your side job, stuff like that. So I was just burnt. I was burning out, man. I was burning out really, really quickly. And then my buddy had called me because you get 5 personal days and sick days with the particular position I had. And like, travesty, bro. It was like the most ridiculous thing. And my goal was to like use vacation days to go on vacation. I like to go to Miami a lot. So I'm also on a teacher budget, like going to Miami, trying to have to use my days. And then like, I found myself literally finagling like lies to like just go on vacation. I was like, yeah, I'm feeling good. Like, so like, it was the craziest thing. I remember lying on my back in a taxi in Miami, being like, I can't believe I just lied and stole to like be here for 3 days and like be nervous the entire time. So I'm like on my back of this taxi, and my buddy calls me. His name's Fred Moore, and he had just gotten his license and he was doing what every agent does like their first 2 weeks. So they call their book of business and they, they're putting their sphere together. So this dude's putting his sphere together, and we had to actually run like a Christian youth group back in the day. And he calls me and he's like, "Hey, Moose," or "Hey, Ken." Actually, he was like, "Are you interested in like, real estate? Are you interested in, selling or buying a house?" I was like, "Dude, there's not even a chance I'll be able to buy a house anytime soon." I was like, "You got some cardboard boxes, man. I probably wouldn't be able to buy those." So he's like, "Well, you like interested in doing real estate?" I was like, "It's funny you said, because I fucking hate my job, and I've been thinking about real estate in the background." So long story short, he becomes my mentor, gets me into the classes, moves me through the motions, and then I get my license, and he ends up going to this spot. You don't know like Connecticut, obviously, but like there's this town called Brantford, which is like it's a good word to describe Brantford. It's like it's not diverse, so but it's nice. It's like it's a really nice town, right? So and lovely people, lovely people. But we go to the center of town, and I've always driven by the center of town. It's this big house, but it was like an old big house. And he pulls up. He's like, "That's the office." I was like, "No, that's a house." That's a house. And he's like, "No, man, that's like the office." And we go in there, and no offense to anybody, but it smelled like old people. So you walk in, and it smelled like old. There's a fax machine, like an actual fax machine.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like it was like no one uses these things. So it was a fax machine, like the whole 9, and the broker was like 68, which isn't like a big deal. But then he just kept on going on about like I was like, "Nah, I just don't feel like this is me." So then he ends up joining that brokerage. Joining that brokerage, and after he joins that brokerage, tells me, he's like, "Yeah, this is the brokerage you're joining." I was like, "Nah, bro, that's the brokerage you're joining." I was like, "I am not trying to like whatsoever like be a part of like something like that." And I felt like real forced into it. So 3 months later, he's like, "Yeah, that wasn't the place." I was like, "Nah, man, clearly it wasn't the place, because it smells like old people." Right. So afterwards, we ended up coming to the office I'm literally at right now. And not this floor. We were on the 3rd floor, because this is a new sales floor that we actually just opened last year. But we're on the we went to the 3rd floor of this building. It's brand new, like startup company. I was like I was literally one of the first 3 agents there, because it was me and my buddy and this dude Alan, who like started the company with his buddy TJ, who ended up partnering with Total Mortgage Services, which is a lending company. And I've never left. I haven't left since 2017. Been able to help build this company from the ground up, help build my team, help build the agents, help build the culture, help build the videos. And that's really how a lot of this has started. And then seeing, like, it's funny because Alan actually, and if you go back all the way to 2020 on that Property Spark list, Property Spark was dope because they really opened up a lot of different things for not just me, but for my brokerage. So in 2020, I was the #1 agent in Connecticut on social media. The #2 agent was my partner, Courtney McManus, and we had just partnered again, like in 2018. So we were really pushing the envelope for like social media, doing videos, and getting out there, posting pictures, like kind of doing things a lot differently. and she in 2021, and then we also had 8 other agents in our brokerage on the top 50 for the entire state of Connecticut on Instagram, on social media.
Wow.
In 2021, everyone else was off the list except me and Courtney, and then I was number 2 and she was number 1. If you check on that list, Courtney is number 53 on that list for the top 100 Instagrammers, and then I actually won another list on Property Spark as well for the top 100 influencers, real estate influencers in the country for 2021. So it's like they just keep giving these awards out. And like, you know, it's really cool, man, because like, you know, it's you get to meet a lot of different people, but then it ties into your business because again, first article in 2020 got shared over 100,000 times.
Wow,
over 100,000 times.
Right.
So it was nuts, man, because like that was cool. It worked with my, you know, my business. I tried to do funny stuff on YouTube, on Facebook, and all that stuff. So it was like really gearing in. But then I'm actually also on like this network, House Garden Television, HGTV, on the show. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that, but I'm actually on the show House Hunters. So I'm like a pretty regular person on HGTV's House Hunters. And the last episode aired a couple weeks ago. We're shooting and filming another episode next week. I'm pitching another kind of, you know, Realty TV kind of like Connecticut geared like thing towards them as well. And we'll see how that plays out. But lots of good things, man. And it's just, it all came from social media. Literally, it all came from social media.
Right, man. All right. So that's what I want to get into here is as far as your social media presence and what you've been able to do. So I guess take me from square one, because what happens is most people, they're using social media leisurely. And then now they're a realtor. So now they have this business. And what happens sometimes is some people will continue to use it leisurely, but for their business. So I guess, how did you make the transition? Because you were already probably on most of these platforms. So now how did you integrate your business into it?
So I think it was, I don't want to say it's like different for me. And I feel like the proof is easy. Like I was, this is probably gonna sound like, I don't think it's gonna sound like cocky, but like, I feel like I've always been like an okay person on social media. Like I've always had like funny posts. Like I've always been like, oh, this is funny, I'm gonna share it. Oh, this is a stats. Like when I was with the kids, I was making these like silly statuses. Like it was like kid 1 said this, kid 2 said this, Mr. Moose said this, kid 1 laughed at this, kid 2 said that, Mr. Moose said that. I was like, people were kind of picking up on that. So, and then you're right. I'm like, I had a Vine before, and like Vine was literally the shit back in the day. So like, it was everything that happened before Instagram, you know, it was everything that TikTok is now, you know. So like, I was on Vine and we were like making funny Vine. So I've always done like funny videos. I would say that I have a good group. I have a good group of people around me that have always like supported me, whether friends. I'm in like my fraternity, you know, this, you know, thing I do with Taste of New Haven, for instance. I'm like, I have other businesses. So it's like, I've always had to kind of be like a leisure kind of guy on Facebook or Instagram. So I've never not posted, right? So like I think one of the issues is that like, you're right, people not only just leisurely, like they barely, I'd use the word barely, people barely post all the time. So like you get like their wedding announcements and them playing like Candy Crush. And then you get like, you know, back in it was like, it wasn't like people were really unfolding their lives. It was more like, you know, we're posting leisurely and barely and saying happy birthday and doing this whole night. So then I think at least in like, I'd say even like late 2018 is when you really started to see people like just throwing it out there that, hey, this is my job, even whether it be real estate, but like, hey, this is what I'm selling. Like, hey, this is a thing. Facebook Marketplace, for instance, really became popular back in like 2016, 2017. Like, look at the analytics of it. So I don't know. I think that there's a shift, and I'm just lucky to have already kind of been on a wave of like things that I was doing, even though it had nothing to do with real estate. I was just always posting. So I guess that was easy transition for me because, again, what I noticed, and this is so true, but if you post that you got a new job, people are going to like that shit because they're like, oh my God, positive, awesome, good for you, good for you. You post like, I got a new house. Oh my God, positive. Good for you. Great job. Awesome. If you post, hey, I got a second house, they're like, fuck you. We don't care about it. Why? Why'd you get a second house? Like, are you rich now? Are you
right.
rich? Okay, yeah. We don't like rich. We like humble. So
right.
happy birthday. Like, but the crazy thing is, you know, as these things were occurring, I noticed the idea of like positivity. So it's like a positive, funny post. So I really kind of gear myself towards like positive, funny, but then positive, real stuff as well, because, you know, we're out here and it's really like, it's real. Like Facebook and Instagram and the entire social media presence is not everything of what you see. Right. So then when someone posts some real shit, like you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I can get around that. I can get behind that. This transaction wasn't super easy. Like it went off and under on the market 5 or 6 separate times. Like, oh wow, no one's, you know, because everyone always sees the story, or everyone sees the glory, but they never hear the story. So that was always my thing, was like to kind of tell a story and like kind of move with that in fashion. So the transition, like I said, was not hard, because literally if you like scroll back to like 2010, like I'm telling a story about like kids, or I'm telling a story about like my job, I'm telling a funny story about my day. So it was like, now I'm just telling you a story. And the first thing that I did was when I posted my brand new headshot, hey, it was like one of my most liked posts of all time ever, because people were just like, wow, congratulations, good for you.
Positive.
You know, super positive. And then I started posting like things, again, hey, new listing, this new, but then my style was so different, because I was like, so grateful. Like I posted, so my dad had, I'm not using any of this like tragedy for clout, but my dad had stage 4 cancer, and he was given like 5 months to live, right? Wow. So he was given 5 months to live 7 years ago. So he's fine. Wow. Yeah, he's trudging along. He's kicking, man. But at that time, you know, I was transitioning again, like I said, kind of moving from the field of like I was moving into the behavioral therapy side of things, and like he was very much alive when I had got my license. So when he had, one of the very first times I had my license, I'm like showing a house 5 houses away from my home house. It was in West Haven. So a lot of people probably aren't like, oh my God, I'm in like my hometown of like West Haven, Connecticut. Like 5 things, like I said it out loud. I was like, I'm making a full-blown post about this. Took a picture of my dad. I'm like, everyone wants to like impress their dad. And like, my dad's still alive. I'm glad I'm able to impress him up to this point. I'm glad I'm like trying to be successful. I'm glad like I'm like working on my success. And then boom, it was like, wow, this, like that's some real shit. And that being so real, I got like a lot of people just literally based off of that post. But then like that's the type of stuff I was like putting out there. And I don't know, saw a lot of good success from that too. But you know, nowadays it's you know, people that picked up on the story, people still like that. People still like the information that I'm giving out. People still like some of those long posts. But like right now, you can't really. It's just like, yo, it's flash, flash, bang, bang. Like you gotta be so quick with it. And people attention spans have like dwindled down even since last year. They're just dwindling.
that or the algorithms,
exactly.
keep on changing up. It sounds like is that you're more documenting as far as your journey versus, okay, I got a content calendar and I'm going to do this on this day, this on this day, this on this day. Are you doing more short videos or long videos?
So I keep all my videos to a minute. It is very hard to do a minute, but to be very real with you, the number one thing that I'm doing is recently is like, yo, it's like 10 seconds. I'm trying to get something out in 10 seconds. I'm like trying to get back to the Vine days, because like you literally had 6 seconds on the Vine. You had literally legitimate 6 seconds to get like a really good content video out. And I've been noticing more, I think like just in general, people noticing more the shorter videos, people continue to watch over and over and over again. So like at first, I mean, you know, I don't think I've ever had a video like over 3 minutes that wasn't like a music video or something like that. Like I've done real estate music videos, make like real estate music intensive. Like
have you?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta look this up. It's
are you singing or?
Oh, rapping, singing, the whole nine. My first one that we did was called, it was a parody off of Old Town Road. It was called Houses in the Bag, but it's used like it's you gotta watch it. You should link it up. I'm telling you,
Definitely.
it's pretty good. But like that's what honestly like got the like full steam ahead thing with like, yo, it makes sense to be funny because real estate is so stressful and so crazy that like it pays to be funny. It works to be funny. It works to like lighten the mood. It works like in all these different parts and respects. So it really is smart to keep it funny. And that's the thing. If it's like a little bit longer and it's funny, great. But like that's the whole thing. It's like again that attention span, that like the algorithm changing all that.
Right.
You know, you really have to like dwindle your videos down, which is why Reels. I use Reels. Reels are where it's at. Literally, if you're not using Reels, you're dying on Instagram.
Right. And it's funny because I've always had the idea of doing like a real estate route. I just don't have any bars.
Oh,
so
bars, we got a collab, man. I'm telling you, it's think about it. We were rapping every single day.
Right. I said, man, I'm gonna get one of my buddies. I'm gonna pay him to write me a real estate rap.
Oh yeah, ghost rap, dog. I mean, right. The best route that I went is I do parodies. So I have one where it's there's one where it's like I did mold in this house. So it was like it's supposed to wob. It was wob. So like wet ass basement. So that one went pretty viral. I got another one where it was a Justin Bieber parody. Then I did another Cardi B parody where it was like up. So I was like the market's up. But like the fun part is like you get people involved, you get the videos involved, you get people, you know, when your brokerage involved, you get those people sharing it, and that's why you know it's just light and it's airy and it's fun. People like to watch it. And, you know, I mean, I don't know if you follow the Broke Agent or actually Akens on Instagram, but those are some of my buddies, and I mean, just taking the page out of their book, man, it's just like memes. I have tons of memes on my page. I've created myself.
Okay.
You know, that like one of my famous memes actually is a meme that I have of and it's not that famous, only like 30,000 views on it, but like it was one where just like during the Super Bowl, for instance, where you had the weekend and that part where like he's like in the camera and then like all those people come out, they're like all button heads and like that whole nine. I made a reel and turned it a meme reel, for instance. I did that meme reel, which is very key to understand too. Like if you words, video, caption, 8 seconds, you know, it's super easy. Even if it's just a moving picture, I mean, like that will get enough views. Like that right there, that moving picture, even if it's just a picture, words, like that's the reel. You'll get more views and more interaction on that than just literally posting that exact meme. So wildly enough, the one that that one went pretty viral because I just was like, oh yeah, the weekend. That meme was a highest and best live look at a highest and best situation because it was also the day of the Super Bowl that I did it. You know, it also went severely viral because that was that. But you know, there's weird ones that go viral. I had one where it was like 300. It's got like 300,000 views on it, but it's one where I'm literally just at a showing. It's it was a series of things that I called shit you see on showings or shit you see on listing appointments. And it's literally just me like looking at a dilapidated house because that house clearly was broken into, but there's a hot plate of food, of Chinese food, literally on the ground in front of me. So I'm like looking at that and I'm like looking at that and like I'm just like, we're gonna die. And that just went like viral because it's like it's real shit. Like that's also kind of funny. It's also clearly dangerous. Our job is dangerous. So like,
it's catchy. It's catchy. Now, how do you translate that into business? Because what somebody may look at this and they're like, okay, well, I can do a rap, a parody. I've never thought about memes, but doing a meme, I mean, how are you intertwining these call of actions?
So the best way, in my opinion, to think about it is like it's a confidence level thing for me. Like if you're in my wheelhouse or if you come into my no-fly zone, you're going down. Like you literally, like if you come into my world and you're thinking and talking about real estate, I'm more than confident that you're going to use me. So I heard the other day, and actually this is someone said this the other day, like, yo, you can't keep making videos of you like making fun of your clients or like clients getting made fun of or like a meme about a client, you know, because there are people who see that and like don't get it. But like the wild thing is my clientele, I've had 100% referral business for 3 years. So I don't like do Zillow. I don't have like I have other resources for like my team. Like I got 4 listings yesterday, literally because someone called me to their house. Then I'm there talking, and then their buddy in the back was like, "Yo, I have a shit real estate agent, or this real estate agent gave me like awful." So he comes over. Then while I'm talking to this dude, he's like, and I was just like talking to this dude who was giving me as a referral from another person who had literally been a referral from me. But that person, she follows me on Instagram, shares all my videos, shares all this stuff. That guy had talked to 3 other agents before he talked to me, and I'm at his house, and he's like, "Oh no, we're definitely going with you." Starts another group text message with his buddy, who then is also moving with him. So I got 3 listings out of that. Wow. On Facebook, there's another real estate agent that she's like, I don't do this as much as anymore, and like I follow you when I do, like I'm just gonna give you my listing, and I'm actually not gonna get the listing. What I'm gonna actually do, I'm just gonna buy it myself. I'm gonna renovate it, and then I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna have my team list it. So it's like out of nowhere, I got 4 listings yesterday, but like legit off of Instagram, because unfathomable to think about that Jessica, who shared my stuff, who thinks I'm funny, she was a referral in general anyways. I got like a 75% referral from her because she was coming from New York, that then gave me to her cousin because she thinks I'm funny and she likes me. I'm like going there for Easter, and like I keep in contact with my clients. And then his buddy, who's hearing me talk, is like popping on down, and then they're like, "No, this guy knows what he's doing." So boom, like let's get this other guy involved. Right. This guy knows what he's doing, you know. So more eyes, the better. That's how it translates. Like if I'm just in front of your face, and you're just gonna see me in front of your face. If I'm, it's not all funny, right? You also see that I'm closing. I post not the majority of my closing. I post a lot of closings actually. So you'll see that I'm closing. You'll see a story behind the closing. Then there's a funny meme. Then there's like a serious thing. Then there's me giving some information out. On Black History Month, I did a Black History Month series of things. You know, during Christmas, I do like Christmas stuff. During Easter, we're going to shoot a video where I'm like, I can't decide if I'm going to either braid my hair or cut it, but like they're going to, like the video is like spring cleanup. So I'm going to be walking into my barbershop. I'm gonna be getting like a haircut or a taper or whatever, and it'll be like, this is a spring cleanup, clean your shit up, like, and then but like that will be a fun video. It might not be funny, but like my barber is literally also getting his license too, and then he's gonna come onto my team. But like I'm like, dude, we can start a series like just us of you cutting hair with me and us giving real estate advice, because I come here every single Thursday, right? So it's like. You're talking, we're talking anyways. Why don't we just get this thing on video, you know? And then after we're on video, we could talk about real estate stuff. So I mean, that's the thing is you got to just find the ways to integrate it, because every way you can integrate it, you see, like as long as you have more eyes on you, the better it's gonna be. So you should post as much as you can, because the more you post, the more eyes you will have. And it starts off being like, you know, if I post a video and I get 2 views, that's exactly what I need. I need 2 views. I need literally just 2 views. If I get 1 like, that's the only like I need, because there's 1 person that liked it. I'm going to reach out to that person and interact with that person. Those 2 views, who viewed it? Maybe the person that liked it. Okay, you saw me giving the information out on my Mondays with Moose thing, and I'm talking about, you know, inspections and final walkthroughs, and like you had a question about inspection or final walkthrough, or maybe I'm talking about the rates. I made a funny video about rates the other day, and I got like 2 leads off of that, because they're like, these rates are crazy.
Right. So are people like you said that you only need 2 views? So are people viewing and then you're proactively reaching out to them like, hey, you saw my video, or how's that interaction going?
I'd say for the beginner, like that's what you would do, right? Like if you get like 1 or 2 views, that's exactly how it started. It was like, I would make a video, I make a post, and whoever commented, I'd be like, hey, so just want to let you know, like I'm a real estate agent, this is real shit. People are like, congratulations on the post. And they're like, you know, you got 120 people liking your post. You're like, that's literally 120 people who like what you're doing. so you can in turn interact with them. Like I used to go on, and then I would, as someone who liked, or like even at the beginning stages, someone liked my stuff, I would literally click there and I would just like everything that they did. Like everything that they did. I would interact with their stores and go boom, boom, boom all the time. I don't have time to do that shit now, but like I would interact with everyone's stuff. And oh my God, like this person is just like blowing me up. It's like, thank goodness. And then quick message and yada, yada. Sometimes it wasn't a message. Sometimes it wasn't even a comment. Sometimes it wasn't that. It was just the idea of getting in front of their faces, because again, what that algorithm does, you're going to continue to be in front of their faces. You're going to continue to see they're going to continue to see your feed if you interact with them on yours as well. So that was kind of the ploy. And that's why I say it's like unfathomable, because at the beginning I was doing that, but then you're working your leads and then you're working the phones, doing your thing, whatever it is. It's not all about just posting and letting it rock, but like truly posting and then making sure that you're proactively posting again. Like like you don't necessarily need to do all the but you should be posting, giving that information out so that you can build up the confidence in the people to understand that you know what you're doing, right? So like I post a closing, oh, this guy closes, he knows what he's doing. Damn, he closes, he knows what he's doing. Oh, now he's just showing off. Damn, this guy's showing off. He's showing off. Yeah, he's showing. Holy crap, he's showing off, but he really knows what he's doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because there's that gap there where it's like, I am successful. People are, I'm successful and it's positive. Great. Now I'm successful and you're jealous. Great. Now you're successful and you're like over the hump of being jealous. And just like, now all you're doing is thinking about me whenever you think about success in real estate. That's all you're doing now. Like, because you just have to get through this like little clip here to get to this part where they're like, all right, now like, we get it. You post, you're in real estate. I mean, there's people who walk through in this office I've never seen before. They're like, man, you're so cool. Like, wow, I'm like, good stuff.
Now, are you taking the local mayor approach, meaning to be very popular in your particular area?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I think that helps. Obviously, just confidence factor for yourself. It builds the confidence, like I said, in the people, in you. But then that's the thing too. Like I do work in Miami, I do work in California, I do work in Virginia, you know, all over the country. So that's the other thing too, is that you, like, once you get to the point where like you're confident in your community, then your community continues to know that, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. When you post that, you're like doing stuff elsewhere. And you post like, hey, I'm like out this way, I'm out this way. So yeah, I definitely try to be like a community intensive individual, because your community, and it doesn't have to be local community either, right? Like when I was posting Black History Month videos, man, like I was getting who reached out and reposted one of my videos, the historic Black HBCU news. Historic Black, HBCU news would reposted a couple of my stuff, and they're like blue check mark. You know, people were reposting some of my like Black History Month 1 minute reel videos where I'm talking about people you might have never heard about, but people you should definitely hear about. You know, so like that's a community I tapped into, the real estate community, right? So as a real estate turd, again, I got a lead from a real estate agent to sell her house because she's like, I'm not doing this anymore. But like,
that's crazy.
That's the other, right? Isn't that just insane? I was like, what are you doing?
Right. You save so much money if you just do it yourself. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
You know what I mean? Like, not that hard at all. Like, at all. And like, you've been doing this for X amount of years, but like, people get tired, they get burnt out, and they're like, you know what? I'd much rather just make the money, let it rock. I mean, think about this. If I get that property that I'm going to buy it myself, I'm not even going to be the one to list it. I'm going to give it to my team as an opportunity for my team to list it. But also, it works in my benefit because I don't have to add in that agent owner. I don't have to get like a low ball offer because someone's like, "Oh, he's the agent, he's the owner. Let me look up when he bought it. Let me look up how much he worked. Put it. You know, it's like have my team listed."
Right. Cool. So for your for your team, I guess, what are you teaching them as far as how to implement social media into their business?
So posting is so key for us because that's how everyone on my team has found us. And my team's awesome. My team is so dope.
Are they posting themselves, or are they posting the team, or are they posting the brokerage?
Awesome question. All for it. So I think one of the best features that's ever happened is this collab thing that you can do on Instagram, right? So like if I post, I collab with my team, then my team posts, and like we get the likes in common. But what I've been preaching to my team is that like, yo, like yes, you post, but like you also have to post your life too, because you don't want to be a real estate robot, right? Like the real estate robot is posting 5 tips on selling your home. Right. And 18 things that you can do today to make it a great real estate day. Like, it's like, stop. You know, you could do that. You could keep doing that, but that don't make that the only thing you do. In fact, don't even put it as a post, put it on your story and make a video about you talking about it. Maybe then you just use the words in that as a caption. So I've really been coaching and telling my team realistically to like seize the day by posting early, but posting your successes, because that's the thing. People want to see that you know what you're doing. They don't want to see that you're successful. They want to see that you know what you're doing. And then once they understand you know what you're doing, the idea of like the success just kind of happens in its own respect. And then after that, people truly will go to you, because then that's all they think about: success in real estate, you. Success in real estate, you. Success in real estate.
Right, that mind space.
Exactly.
That mind space.
We want to grab and hold all that mind space, and the best way to do that is to just continue to post. You know, it's great. Like my team currently is with the active full-time people. We have Ali, Caitlin, Courtney, who's my partner, Jasmine, Zach, and Molly. And everyone's a model. Like they're all extremely attractive individuals.
Oh wow, that helps.
Yeah, that literally helps. And like it's like you got this old fart over here myself, but like I'm old fart. I'm like 33, and like I'm the oldest person on my team. So then like you also have the idea of what they're doing is like they're plugging young success. So that's another thing that, you know, just this day and age is so easy to see around. Like you have these TikTokers, these YouTubers who are like 14 years old, making millions of bucks, right? You get mad at them because they're like,
what was I doing when I was 14?
You know what I mean? Like, and think about, right. And so it's like, oh, cool. But then, damn, they suck. And it's like, well, I'm going to keep watching these videos because they're great and they're funny. And like, okay, that's cool that you get to do this. And like, actually, I kind of respect you that you get to do this. And if I ever saw you in person, I'd probably shake your hand. Right.
Right.
So it's that same thing. It's like, yo, it's going to be a little bit harder for you. It actually sounds crazy, but it's going to be a little bit harder for you, the extremely pretty girl, to be able to get over, like, because that's what people are looking at. They're like, oh my God, it's successful, and you're so hot. Oh my God. Right. Well, damn, you're so hot.
Hard to get past.
Exactly. I'm gonna like try and DM. I'm gonna try and DM that person. They're not getting to me. Damn, screw that person. Then you're like, all right, well, I'm just gonna think real estate, success, pretty. Real estate, success, pretty. I'm gonna reach out to that person. I'm gonna talk to that person, because attraction is not just this. Attraction is also how you talk to people, how you make people feel, how positive you are, and your positive attitude that you give to other people as well.
It's the stake, not the sale. So quick story: when I sold my first house, I picked her because she was pretty. I mean, she knew what she was doing. Yeah. But she was attractive, and I was like, hey.
I mean, there's always that, like, there's always going to be that thing. Like, it's just attractive people you go to attractive people because no matter what, like no matter what, you're like, yeah, all right. Like, but then there's a thing that also happens, because you could be like it. I'm telling you, like this one client I had, I was just like, I am dropping you because it is an actual waste of time. I'm only doing this because you're attractive. I'm like, this is going nowhere. It's really going zero places. Like I cannot just be taking these houses and let's just like
because you're attractive. Wasting my time, man. Exactly. What about the TV, man? Let's get into the HGTV.
Yes, sir.
How'd you come across that?
It's a funny story too. So it still is a social media thing, but in a different way. Because again, I keep using the word unfathomable, but like it is truly unfathomable how it works. And this is a perfect example of it, and the perfect example of the mind space thing. So I had clients. I had clients who I love you guys. My very first clients, I was like, they're not buying a house. So I thought they were wasting my time. So we start looking for a house in like early 2000 or late 2000s. It was late 2017, I think. We were looking for a house, and then they just ghosted me. They just straight ghosted me. And they were not, I mean, they were looking for like up to 150. And they just ghosted me. I was kind of like, what the stinks, because I hate losing clients that early. But they came back, and I just wasn't taking them super serious. And then I explained to them like a 203K like rehab like type deal, and they were interested in that. And then again, it's like they were interested, and it sounds messed up because our job is truly to like cater to our client, but like you also have to make sure that you're not wasting time, because you got to be able to divulge the time wasters, because your time is super important. I mean, I get back at like 11:30 every single night. It's like crazy, but these particular clients are talking about 203Ks, and I end up getting a contractor. So again, rewinding to the idea, on Mondays I was doing this thing called Monday with Moose, where I was like giving out information about things. And it was on Monday, and like I mean, it wasn't loose. It was just like I'm talking about like, again, inspections and like walkthroughs, you know, smoke detectors, that whole night. So this particular one I was doing was going to be one where it was I was talking about 203Ks. It was one of the first interactive ones I was doing. You could literally go back and scroll on my page and find this is mid 2018, and it's just me talking about 203Ks, zooming through a video of my clients who are in the house, zooming into the inspector the contractor talking about this. The only reason I did that was because I was like, I'm making this proactive, because they're not buying this house. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of the contractor's time. Thank God he came out to like do this. We go outside the house, and they're like, we really like the house. I was like, really? What? They're like, yeah, we really like the house, and you know, we like the idea of 203K. Hey, do you have that video that you sent or that you did? I was like, yeah, you actually find it on my page. Right. Because I posted on my page. And they're like, oh, that's pretty cool. They're like, and like, think about the thought. It was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I was like, yeah. They're like, huh? So you do videos? I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, we do videos too. Like, because they actually, at that time, I didn't realize this, but they are photographers and they're videographers. I was like, oh, that's cool. They're like, yeah. Yeah. You know what that reminds us of, what you just did? House Hunters. I was like, what? Like, they're like, yeah, like random TV. I was like, oh, that's nuts, because like they're like, yeah, there's actually when we were driving here, we actually there was an ad for House Hunters. Like there was an ad to be like, if you want to like go on House Hunters, there's this ad that they have. I was like, okay. They're like, yeah, it was on social media, and you're on social media, and that reminded us of that. So we're gonna apply tonight to go on the television show. I'll go. That's everything of it. I was like that transition was just like, okay, right. So they applied, and they literally hit me up, and 2 hours later after we left, they're like, holy shit, we actually got called back. I was like, okay. They're like, yeah, but like there's probably nothing of it. They say 100,000 people like apply all the time. All right. And then after they're like, oh my God, so we did an interview today. This is the next day. So like, we did an interview today. I was like, oh, cool. And literally not like, it was not something that I was like, it's happening. I was like, this is probably something they do with everybody. After that, they are like 2 days later, like, holy shit, we passed the like actual phone interview. So now the interview that we're going to do, we're going to actually do the interview for the Skype FaceTime. I was like, wow. They're like, yeah, they didn't say a lot of people make it to this round. So like, it's pretty cool that we're getting to do this. I was like, all right, cool. Very cool. I get a call shortly afterwards. They're like, oh my God, they're going to call you. So now like the interview, they have to interview you too. I was like, what?
Are you taking your time now?
Yeah, right. They call me and they're like, hey, so the way this works is like, there's like a 98% chance that your clients are going to be on the show. I go, holy shoot. They're like, yeah. So we're calling you, just make sure you're not a sociopath. And
okay,
calling the wrong one. No,
right.
They're like, yeah, we're calling you to make sure you're not like crazy or whatever, and
right.
you know, just you probably won't get that much FaceTime because we really do try to focus on the clients and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, cool. So they start the interview, and then we talk for like an hour and a half about like 2 or 3 Ks, and I've never seen House Owners, barely watched HGTV. Obviously know about HGTV because we're real estate agents and we're in this field. But I just kept talking about it. I was like, I've never seen the show, but like I'm not sure if you guys like talk about rehab and stuff like that. And the guy's just like listening. He's like, just want to let you know, we turned the camera off like an hour and 15 minutes ago. And we have just been talking, and I just like talking to you. So he's like, we're definitely gonna have you on the show. We really like your dynamic and like this whole thing. So then we shoot that first episode. It airs June 2nd, 2019. We have like a big party for it. And again, it's funny too, because that was the biggest party we had. And then I've been on 4 other times, and like the party had just gotten smaller and smaller. Because again,
it's like the big shebang, but then after the drop off.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is people are like, wow, super duper, it's so successful. We're really cool, awesome. They're like, all right, like enough. Like, and then we're here. It's like, oh, you're definitely cool. Let us know when the next one's on so that we can like DVR it and like we really all support you. Da da da. So it aired. It's so funny to say this. It's one of the highest rated and approved episodes on HGTV like of all time, because it was a really, really good episode. Unknowns to me, literally until the day we're filming, my clients were homeless while we were looking. So they were literally homeless, living out of their car with their like 11-year-old daughter prior to us like closing us up. And
that's crazy
insanity. So like it really was like it was like a really good story. I was just like, guys can come to my house. I didn't know that. What?
Wow.
You know, so it was wild. And then things just started rolling. And then because I'm on the show, like I can bring anyone on the show. I could literally bring any client on the show. Like if I'm buying a house, I could be my agent buying a house on the, like, it's like, they're giving me a lot of reign there because of the high approvals. And they're like, you really don't see people come on again and again. They're like, you've just been on multiple times and we just like you. So.
Wow, man, that's crazy, man. Well, listen, in closing, man, is there any we always look to give the realtors some type of hack, some type of action item that they can do, that they can implement as soon as they get off this podcast, man. What do you have for them, man? Any type of action items as far as things that they can do to improve their social media presence?
I would say just be real. Don't stop posting. Just be real with it and keep it short now. Like before, the stories were cool. But you know what? Soon enough, the stories will be cool again, right? So like follow the trends, but also try to be different, because you know, if you just go with the algorithm, you're going to find success in it, sure. But then that's the thing. That's why the algorithm is the algorithm. Like there's certain people that will find that success, and then once something is different and it changes, once you gear into that other thing, people are going to start to pick up on that more. So be comfortable with what you're doing, gain confidence by posting more, continue to post. Your next post is always your best post, right? So like you get 2-3 likes on this one, great. Focus on the next one. Same thing with the closings. Your next closing is always your best closing, because you should always have like a rolling thing. Don't stop posting on your stories, and don't stop posting your success. And let people hate, because those people eventually become your clients.
Right. Awesome, man. Well, thanks, man. Listen, agents, if y'all have any referrals for Moose out in Connecticut, his information will be in the description, man. So definitely a power-packed episode, man. Watch for him on House Hunters on HGTV. I'll definitely do the same, man. So it's Khalid Nathan Aleem, the real estate boy, and we are out. And listen, Moose, the next time you come to Philadelphia, let me know. I'll get you a cheesesteak. We'll go to a place, get you a cheesesteak. I don't know if you had one last time you was here.
You know, I had like one of the I was in the market, and like the market, and I got one of the ones that was like a chicken cheesesteak, I think.
Hey, okay.
All right, not bad, but you know, I got show me the local spots, man. I'm down.
Right. Next time, man. All right, man. Till the next time, y'all. We out.